So these first three, these have not changed from the last test that you did. Let's see what you've got. What is the slope formula? It does have a y1 in it. Good. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You subtract the y's, you subtract the x's. Just y goes on the top, x goes on the bottom. Do you require something to write with? Do you need a flower? All right, get out something to write with and write this down. All right, slope-intercept form. What is that one? Good. Y equals mx plus b. M is the slope. B is the y-intercept. That's why it's called slope-intercept. All right. And then point slope. Well, I have these right here. I was going to offer you one, but you said you didn't need one. Okay, perfect. Point slope is the one that everybody kind of like didn't remember as well, but we're going to use it a ton today. So it's going to get drilled into your mind today. Do you think you know it? Starts with a y. Y minus y1, good, equals m, that's your slope. Good. If that was one that you felt a little shaky on, first of all, fair, because it's a bit weird, but we're going to use that a ton today. So if you pay attention to me, we're going to use it over and over and over again. So you'll get that by the end of today, I promise. All right, so it says write an equation in slope-intercept form for each of these. Your answers should all be y equals mx plus b. So for number one, they gave us the slope and they gave us the y-intercept. So there's really not any work. They gave you the slope and the y-intercept. You just have to put it in the equation form. So it would be y equals what? 1/2 x, literally got handed to you. Yep, minus 3. You can write plus -3. That's not like wrong. We just usually don't see it that way. That's literally it. That's all. This one says slope of 0. Is that this way or is that this way? What do we call this? Horizontal. In that little acronym I gave you, that's HOI. Horizontal has a 0 slope. That's what the H and the O are for. H is horizontal. This means 0. And it is y equals. It's y equals something. I want you to look at the paper. What number do you think it is? Go ahead. No, it's y. I just said it's y. HOI. Y equals what number? I heard somebody say it. 4. Why is it 4?
Because there's no slope 10.
Because 4 is what part of the point? The y part of the point. X, y. Points are x comma y. 4 is the y. You all with me there? Okay, cool. I like hearing I get it, but I think I lost a lot of you. So I'm going to make up another one. Can you look up here? Let's say we wanted undefined slope through, give me single digit numbers. I'll just make something up. 2, 4. Undefined is the VUX part of that acronym I gave you. What does V stand for? Yep, vertical, undefined, and it's x equals. So it's going to be x equals what number do you think? Why is it the 2? That's the x part of the point. Did that clear that up, guys? Or I can make them up all day long. You want another one? You have to look this direction. You want me to make another one because you missed that one because you weren't looking at it. Let's do a 0 slope. Here, give me single digit numbers. We'll make something up. 7 and 6. 0 slope, that is the HOI part of that acronym. Horizontal, 0 slope. It's going to be y equals what number? Why is it the 6? Well, it's not the y-intercept. It's the y part of the point. Okay, x comma y. Cool, I think I finally got you to listen. You weren't looking, but whatever. I got most of you. All right. Equation in slope-intercept form. What's your y-intercept on this graph? 2, 0, 2. Do you see that there? Now we need the slope. I'm going to color code this. We're just going to count the little boxes. First of all, will this slope be positive or negative? Good, negative y. Going down. Common sense, right? How much down does it go? Yeah, so it's going to be -3. And then, thank you, over 4. So when we write our equation, it'll be y equals, you want to put it in y equals mx plus b. So y equals what? Good, -3/4 x. Oh, good. Why is it +2? y-intercept. Good, perfect, awesome. I got you there. We'll do a few more and then I'll give you a brain break and then I'll have to get you all back together again. Now, if you aren't given the slope in the y-intercept, if you don't have that information, you put it in the point slope form. Like I said, we're going to do this one a whole bunch today. And then you just rearrange it. You guys were pretty good at that, like rearranging in the last unit. So I think it's going to go okay. So look at this one. It says our slope is 4. Do y'all see that there? You just got to read. And then this is the point. If you want to label it x1, y1, that's not a bad idea. Now you guys are going to have to get on board with a double negative cancels to a positive. Do you understand what I'm telling you? Minus it, because otherwise you're going to have minus negatives all over the place. Can you get on board with me that 2 negatives cancel? So we don't have, if we write it that way, it's going to look really confusing, right? So your formula starts y minus y1. So for this problem, that's going to be y minus which number? Which number did we, do you see how it's -3? Now do not write this. I don't want you to copy this. Do you see how it would be y minus -3? Instead, what should I put? Well, y, hold on, everybody stop talking. I said 2 negatives do what? Positive. So instead of minus -3, I should write +3. Good. That's what I want you to put. Y +3. Just pick up where we are. I'm recording this. You can always watch the video later. So 2 negatives cancel. You want to get on board with that. So y +3 equals, I'm going to slide this down again. What comes next in the formula? M. Just read on the paper what number is our slope. 4. Do you see that there? All you got to do is have some common sense. It's going to tell you all the information you need. Parentheses, and it's x minus x1. Which number? Good. 2. Do you see that there? It's like you have all of the ingredients. You're just putting them together into the recipe. Can you look? I'm going to recap. We did y minus -3. That became y +3 equals your slope. It's right there. Just read. X minus x1, which is 2. Now there's 2 steps of work. What do you need to do with the 4? Good. What do we call that? Because what you said is correct, but there's distribute. Good. Okay. So y +3 equals what? We're going to multiply to each number.
4x.
Good. Good. 2 times 4 is 8. 4x minus 8. And your last step to get y by itself, how do you get rid of a +3? -3. Now look, do you see how I lined it up? Mathematics is mostly about organization. It's not even really about intelligence, because if you can read the paper, like it's going to tell you everything you need to do. It's about staying organized, right? So your answer is y equals 4x. Oh, I'm going to let you guys see if you guys can get it. It's -8, -3, -11. I always tell people to think of money. It's like you owe someone $8 and then you owe them $3 more. So you owe them 11. You're -$11. All right, let's do a few more on the other side, and then I'll give you a halfway break. Because I've got your attention. You guys are being good right now. That's perfect. Keep it up. And do a couple more. So this is your slope right here. It literally says it. All you have to do is read. And then this is your point. If you want to label it x1, y1, you can. If you don't want to do that, you know, fine. I'm going to write this on the board up here for you. Understanding it will not be up there when you take a quiz or test, but I'm putting it up there for you right now so you can see it behind us. All right. You have all the ingredients? Put them together into the recipe. It's going to be y minus which number? Thank you. Can you look up here? Good. So it's going to be +5. Minus a negative will turn positive. Get on board with that. All right. Equals. Now just read. I wrote your recipe on the board for you. What number are you going to plug in next? It literally says it on the paper. 2/3. Good job. Thank you. Parentheses. X. You just read it up from up there. X minus 9. Beautiful. And there are 2 steps of work. It will only ever be 2 steps. You're going to distribute your slope and get the y by itself. That's the point. All right. So it'll be y +5 equals 2/3 x. Now, you would be allowed a calculator, but can I show you how to do this? Because I believe you guys have good math sense, and I think you could do this. Just do 2 times 9. What is 2 times 9? 18 divided by 3. What is 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay, but if you didn't know that, let me show you real quick. This is what you would type in the calculator is 2/3 times 9. Do you see that? 2/3 times 9 is 6. I was just trying to talk you through it without the calculator in case you were interested. All right. And then your last step, how do you get rid of the +5? Yeah, good. And line it up. Do you see how I lined it up with the -6? Like, be organized. So it's y equals 2/3 x. Nope, you owe someone $6. Now you owe them $5 more. Good. -11. Good job. I don't know why those both came out to -11. That's just kind of how it turned out. Can you wait till I get to a break? I'm going to do just like a couple more. All right. Now, if you don't have the slope, that is the first thing that you need to find. If the slope is not just handed to you, that's the first thing that you need. If you want to label your points, you can do that. If you don't want to, that's fine as well. It's up to you. We'll do this one and then I'll give you both. You guys are being pretty good. I feel like everyone's listening to me and we're making progress. So slope formula, I didn't write that one up there because I think you should know that one at this point. It's the very first one we wrote on the paper. How does it start? Good, so that's going to be -1 minus 5. And then what will go on the bottom? Now it's 0 minus, good, it'll be +3. I kind of didn't make you do that before. I was like, hey, just put it in the calculator. But I think at this point, we need to cancel our negatives. Minus and negative turns positive. Now I am going to just go ahead and put that in the calculator. So just look. All I'm asking you to do is look. -1 minus 5 divided by 0 plus 3. What do we get? -2. Boom. That's our slope. Now, if you are paying attention, this is your slope. Which number is the y-intercept? Because it is on there.
-1.
Why is it the -1? Why is that your y-intercept? Because there's a 0. So if you're paying attention, you won't have to do more work. You can just go ahead and write the answer. This is your slope. That's your y-intercept. Your answer will be y equals -1. That's it. Cool. So again, if the slope is not given to you, the first thing you would need to do is find it. If you want to label your points, like if that helps you, then do it. If not, whatever. I just want you to get the right answer. But if you don't have the slope, you have to find that first. Now, I didn't write the slope formula behind me because, again, I want you to know that one at this point. We've been doing that a long time. So what 2 numbers are going to go in the numerator? Go ahead. Good. Do you see how he did +1? Because it would be minus negative. So -2 plus 1. And then do you want to tell me what goes in the denominator? 5 minus 2. I'm going to slam that in the calculator and we'll get our slope. So it is -2 plus 1 divided by 5 minus 2. Oh, it's a weird decimal. What should I do? Make it into a fraction. -1/3 is what we got. So -1/3. Now, with number 6, listen to me back there. We have the y-intercept. Do you see how neither of these points is the y-intercept? We're going to have to do this, our recipe. And here's what I always tell everybody. It does not matter which point you use. So I always say use the first one for no other reason than it's the first one. You have to pick one and go with it. So we're going to use this point and this slope. Those are our ingredients. There's your recipe. Just put it all together. It's going to start out with y minus which number? Good. It'll be y minus -1, but that'll be plus. Equals your slope, which we just found, -1/3, parentheses x, minus x1, which is 2. Again, it's not really about being smart. It's about staying organized. All the numbers are on the paper. You just have to put them in the right place. Now, there's 2 steps of work. I know it's super hard. Like 2 steps of work. You distribute, and then you get the y by itself. Do you humor me and write this down? All right, so that'll be negative 1/3 x. Now you have to do negative 1/3 times negative 2. If that's scary for you, use your calculator. Negative 1/3 times negative 2. 2/3. And does that make sense that it's a positive 2/3? There's going to be a new seating chart next time, so you guys aren't paying attention. So plus 2/3. And then what's your last step? You have to get the 1 by itself. -1. And where should I write it on the other side? Under the 2/3, like line it up. So your final answer is in y equals mx plus b, y equals negative 1/3 x. Now, if you don't know what 2/3 minus 1 is, what are you going to do? The calculator. 2/3 minus 1 is negative 1/3. So weirdly, the slope and the y-intercept came out to the same number. That's fine. It's just a coincidence. All right. Let's try it again. This is the exact same thing, but instead of points, it gave us a table. First, you find how the y's change, then you find how the x's change. Now, this is a little tough because this number is negative. Can you get your head up there for me? Thanks. What did we add to get from -8 to +1?
No.
Good. That's +9. Do you need to go to the clinic? Do you need to go to the clinic? Okay, then you need to write this down. You're either well enough to be here or sick enough to leave. All right, and then what do we add for x? 3. Good. That always goes well. That part's fine. What gets people is which one goes on the top and which one goes on the bottom. So which one goes where? For our slope here. Yep, 9/3. Perfect. Good and well said. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now, is either of these points the y-intercept? No. So you have to pick one. And I always say just pick the first one because it's the first one. It really doesn't matter, but just use the first one. That's your ingredient. This is your recipe. You close that Chromebook. Thanks. You're going to plug it all in. It'll be y minus. Good. +8. Perfect. Equals 3 is your slope. Parentheses x minus 2. You just have to scavenger hunt, find all the numbers. Again, preaching at you here, you need to care now. You can't just ignore me, and then when you get this classwork in front of you, have no idea what's going on. You got to listen to me, write down. Yes, sir. We did the y's, so to get from -8 to 1, it was a +9. And to get from 2 to 5, it was a +3. And then we do y over x. The y goes on the top, the x goes on the bottom. We did that with tables before. There was just kind of more of a table. This one just only had 2 points on it. All right, we got 2 steps of work, 2 whole steps of work. What are we going to do here? What do we do with the slope? Yeah, it is multiplying, but guys, what is that vocabulary word? Yeah, distribute. So yeah, that word is distribute. Distribute. All right, so this will be y plus 8 equals what? What do you get when you distribute the 3? It's 3x minus 6. Why is it 6? Multiply 3 times 2. Hey, can you write this down with me? No, her. Can you pick up your pencil and write it down? That'd be awesome, thanks. And then your last step. Minus the 8 and line it up. Don't refuse to listen to me now or write anything down and then want my help later. That's not how it works. So you'll get y equals 3x. Now it's a little tricky. -6 and -8. That'll be negative how much? 14. Good. Nice job. You guys have good number sense. All right. Write your equation, slope-intercept form. We have an x-intercept at -8. As an ordered pair, what would that be? If it's an x-intercept, well, close. -8, 0 for your x-intercept. If you're not sure, the -8 needs to go where x goes. This is x, y. And then you have a y-intercept at 2. What would that be as something 0, 2? And if you're not sure, it has to go x, y. So the y is the 2. What do we not have? And I said, if you don't have this, I said you could play with that later. I said, we're almost done. Close that. Thank you. I said that when he brought it to you. Slope, thank you. If you don't have the slope, that's the first thing you need to find. So what is going to go in the numerator? 0, good, minus 2. Subtract the y number, 0 minus 2. And then on the bottom, -8 minus 0. And then I'm going to tap, tap, tap that in the calculator. Oops, not equals 2. 0 minus 2 divided by -8 minus 0. So 1/4 is what it came out to. You just type it in. You have to know the formula and then type it in. Now, we actually don't have to do any more work. We can just go ahead and write the answer. We have our slope. What is the y-intercept? 2. You only have to do this recipe if you don't have the y-intercept. If you have it, just put it all together. 1/4 is the slope, 2 is the y-intercept. So how do you write your answer? Well, y equals 1/4 x plus 2. There we go. We got it. Well said. All right, I threw 10 and 11 on here to review all your button pushing. You're going to need to just look. I just need you to watch and listen and make sure the information is going in. Let me share my screen. What is the first button you hit to get the whole party started with typing these in? Good, well remembered. Plus, and then table. All right, you're going to just have to sit tight while I type this in, but it's not going to take that long. 176, 302, 428. Thank you for following along with me. Then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to type y equals mx plus b. What are the two things you look up here? What are the two things you've got to change in your y equals mx plus b? Where'd the ones go? After x and y. Good. And then what's the other thing?
The squiggly line.
Squiggly line. Here's our answer. Now, if you're at the back, it might be a little small for you to see, but you guys up front, can you see how slope is 42 and then y-intercept is 50? Literally just gave you the numbers 42 and 50. So we're going to write y equals what? You just put it all together. 42x plus 50. You want to write that down for me? Be awesome. I'm going to try it again. Share my screen with you. All right, what are the x's? 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Perfect. All right, and then what is this story about? Can you read it while I'm typing this in? Well, like, what's going on in this problem? Like, reading is important. Common sense is important. So what are we selling? Foam hands? All right, I typed it all in. Can you see our slope and our y-intercept? If you're in the back, it's a little small, but do you see how it's 6 and 10? All right, what are we going to put on our paper then for our answer? That's it. It is, if you listen to me. If you don't listen to me and you don't know what buttons to press, you can't get an answer at all. So it's either very easy or impossible. You got to listen to me. All right, and then on the back, we're going to write this out one more time. Boy bucks, what does the H stand for? Horizontal. Oops, my handwriting is not good. Let me try and fix that. Horizontal. The O is not an O, it is 0. It means 0 slope. That's this away. Horizontal like the horizon. And it will be y equals a number. Y equals something. Y equals 2, y equals -5, y equals 47, you know, whatever. V is vertical, very good. Vertical is this away. Undefined, good job. And it is x equals something. X equals 3, x equals -2, x equals 77. It's, you know, whatever. So this question says undefined. That is Vux. The U is undefined. So is our equation x equals or y equals? Good. X equals, look at the point. Which number do you think it is? Why is it 4? Good. X goes first. It's xy. 4 is the x number. This says 0 slope. That's hoi. So it's going to be y equals something. Why is it the -2? That's the y number. It goes xy.